Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Welcome to Veda Janani. Durge smrita harasibeti masesha jantoho swastai smrita matimati vashubhan dadasi daridrya dukkha bhayaharini katva dhanyam sarvopakara karanaya sadatra chitta. Our today's topic is Devi Mahatmyam, one of the most important and interesting and my favorite topic, Devi Mahatmyam. What is Devi Mahatmyam and who is the Devi in that? She is the Devi who attracts all towards her just by uttering her name. She is the knowledge. She is the Brahmandam. She is Shiva, she is Shakti, and she is all. Devi Mahatmya literally praises the goddess Durga, which constitutes chapters 81 to 93 of the Markandeya Purana. The Devi Mahatmya opens with the legend of King Surata, who was defeated in the battle and exiled, and Samadhi, a merchant who was driven away by his wife and children for his wealth. Once they meet in the forest. Nevertheless, the two discover that they both care about the welfare of those who drove them out. They wonder why they still care. There they meet sage Medha for answers. The sage replies that this is the nature of existence. Just watch the hungry birds who collect, and despite being hungry, those birds drop the seeds into the beaks of their babies. This is the power of the goddess, her manifestation in nature and everywhere. The one who empowers attachments, it also empowers release attachments. The two men want to know more about the goddess. Now, let's look deeper into what's Durga Saptashati, the glories of Devi, and how we got it. Devi Mahatmyam or Devi Saptashati is also known as Durga Saptashati, which narrates the glorious battles of Goddess Durga against various demonic forces, showcasing her immense power and valor as the Divine Mother, protecting the universe from evil. Essentially, it's a hymn celebrating the strength and power of the goddess Devi in her various forms, particularly as Durga, fighting for the welfare of the cosmos. The text describes the victory of the goddess Durga over the evil forces, that is Asuras, such as Madhu, Kaitabha, Mahishasura, Dhumralochana, Chanda-Munda, Raktabija, Nishumbha, and Shumbha. Devi Mahatmya is the very definition of the nature of Divine Mother. She is the unlimited Shakti behind all limited Shakti. Some people call her Durga, some call her Chandi, and some call her Chandi Mahalakshmi. She is the Moola Prakriti, the root nature of all the manifests. She is the force that drives everything in the universe. She is described as the one who dwells in all creatures as the soul, as the power to know, will, and act. She is further described as the consciousness of all living beings, intelligence, matter, and all that is form of emotion. The narrative of Devi Mahatmya presents a dispossessed King Surata, who has lost his kingdom, and Samadhi, who was betrayed by his family. Sage Medha's teaching led them both beyond existential suffering. The sage tells them about Mahamaya, the goddess, who is the cause of world's delusion and creation and who manifests in different ways. Among the important goddess forms in the Devi Mahatmyam introduced into the mainstreams are Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati. Devi Mahatmya, consisting of 700 verses, is considered to be the crown jewel of Markandeya Purana and is called as Upasana Saptashati in the same way as Bhagavad Gita, also consisting of 700 verses, is considered the crown jewel of the greatest epic Mahabharata, which is called as Upadesha Saptashati. The 700 verses are arranged in 13 chapters. Also, they are arranged in 3 sections, that is Charitas. The 3 parts have Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati as their deities. Devi Mahatmyam is divided into 3 parts, namely Prathama Charitram, Madhyama Charitram and Uttama Charitram. Prathama Charitram consists of chapter 1, destroying the 2 asuras Madhu and Kaitabha, who arose from Mahavishnu's earwax. Madhyama Charitra consists of chapters 2, 3 and 4, destroying Mahishasura Sainya and Mahishasura. Chapter 4, Devi Stuti, a very important chapter praising her. And Uttama Charitra, which contains the balanced chapters from 5 to 13, includes Vada of Chanda-Munda, Raktabija, Shumbha, Nishumbha, etc. with Palashruti and Vara Pradanam. Prathama Charitra, which consists of chapter 1, depicts Devi in her form as Mahamaya. Devi is central and key to the creation as Mahamaya, or the great illusion that induces Vishnu's deep slumber on the waters of the cosmic ocean prior to the manifestation of the universe, which is a continuous cycle of manifestation, destruction and remanifestation. The 2 demons, Madhu and Kaitabha, arise from Vishnu's wax, therefore killed by Vishnu and Devi. Here, Devi is praised as the agent who allows both the cosmic order to be upset and restored. The Madhyama Charitra presents the goddess in her avatar as Durga. The episode describes Mahishasura, an evil demon who uses deception to disarm his opponents, ultimately taking the form of a buffalo demon. Mahishasura is able to use his powers to defeat the male gods because he had been granted a boon that he could only be defeated by a woman. Feeling angered and helpless, the other gods release energy which combines into a singular mass of light and strength, which takes the form of Goddess Durga. The gods then bestow her with their various weapons. Vishnu gives her his Sudarshana Chakra, Vayu gives her his bow and arrow, and Himalayas provides her with a lion as her Vahana, and etc. Durga rides the lion into the battle and captures and slays the buffalo demon by cutting off his head. She then destroys the inner essence of the demon when it emerges from the buffalo's severed neck, thereby establishing order in the world. Now comes Uttara Bhagam. In the final episode, chapters 5 to 13, the demons Shumbha and Nishumbha conquer heaven and the gods go to the Himalayas to pray to Devi. Soon Parvati arrives and asks them to whom they are praying and reveals them that it is her whom they are praying to. Therefore, Ambika and Kaushiki appears from the sheath of Parvati's body. Devi engages in a fierce battle with Chanda and Munda, servants of Shumbha and Nishumbha. Chanda and Munda are eventually killed by Kali, who emerges from Devi's forehead. The demon Raktabija also appears and is killed by Kali. Nishumbha and his army is defeated by the goddess with the help of the 7 mothers, who is called as Shakta. In the final battle against Shumbha, Devi absorbs Kali and 7 mothers Shakta and stands alone for the final battle. After the battle, the gods praise Devi, and the hymn is known as Narayani Stuti, which affirms her as the creator, preserver, and destroyer of the universe. Devi, pleased with the Devas, grants them a boon that she will always destroy the demons and bring peace to the earth. She mentions her future incarnations and their respective acts. Then Devi mentions the benefits, the peace, the bliss of worshipping her and disappears. The 12th chapter of Durga Saptashati, which is called Phalashruti, which speaks about the benefits of reciting the sacred text, revealed by Devi herself to the gods. The manifestations of Devi's presence at the place of recitation, removal of all troubles, prevention of calamities, removal of poverty, protection from enemies, fire and flood, protection from planetary influences, protection from evil spirits, and bestowal of wealth, gains, and children. What else we want more than this? Next comes chapter 13th, known as Vara Pradanam. Devi promises the king will fight bravely and regain his earthly kingdom. After his death, the sun god Vayavasvat will grant him rebirth as Savarni, the Manu of the 8th Manvantra, and Samadhi, through knowledge, will attain Samadhi, union with the absolute. In this final scene, Devi appears exactly as characterized in the verses 11 of the chapter 11 and the 7th shloka of the Narayani Stuti, as the bestower of worldly enjoyments and final liberation, Bhuktimutti Pradayini. The sage finishes the tale. He tells the king and the merchant to take refuge in Devi to rid themselves of their delusion. Both the king and the merchant undertake penance, and Devi grants them her vision. The king asks Devi for his lost kingdom, and Devi grants it to him. The merchant asks Devi for wisdom, and she grants it to him. We have few more topics like Devi Kavacham. Devi Kavacham, consisting of 51 shlokas in the Markandeya Purana, which is the armor, protects the reader in all parts of his body, in all difficulties. She comes so fiercely to protect her devotees and other devatas with dreadful weapons, and not only she protects from each and every directions as Devis, she comes and protects. She also comes as Shaptamatrikas, who comes in her vahanas and protects us. And above all, she is taking the form of more than 75 Devis in the Devi Kavacham and protects us in each and every part, which is beyond our imagining capacity. Let me give a small example. Jwalamukhi Devi, who is responsible for the shining of our nail, and Kauberi, who is taking care of our hairpots. We will see other Devis during our Kavacham chanting. Next comes Argala Stotram. Here, Markandeya Rishi is telling his disciples in 27 inspiring verses on the greatness of Devi. She has been described in all aspects and names, and at the end of each sloka, prayer is offered to Devi for material prosperity, physical fitness, fame, and victory, and eradicating our enemies. Rupan Dehi Jayan Dehi Yasho Dehi Dvisho Jahi. Next comes Kilakam. Here also, Rishi Markandeya tells his disciples in 16 shlokas about the removing of obstacles faced by devotees while reading Devi Mahatmyam. Then comes the Shuktas, that is Ratri Shuktam, Tantrotika Ratri Shuktam, Devi Shuktam, etc. Then comes the Rahasyams, Pradhanika Rahasyam, Vaikritika Rahasyam and Murti Rahasyam, which we will be seeing in detail in other episodes. The significance of Devi Mahatmya has been explained in many tantric and Puranic texts like Katyayani Tantra, Gataka Tantram, Krodha Tantra, Meru Tantram, Marisha Kalpam, Rudrayamala Tantram and Chidambara Rahasyam. So with this introduction, let us start going through Devi Kavacham from my next YouTube episode. I request you to subscribe to Veda Janani and hit a like and share with your family and friends.